Hey, welcome back to another Vehicle Spotlight. It's Andrew, this is Fitment Television. Thanks for tuning in. You guys are gonna wanna check out this episode. We got an absolutely beautiful 1993 Acura NSX. It's got a wide body kit on it. It's sprayed Lamborghini Murcielago Orange. Let's go check this thing out. All right, so let's take a peek at the wheel setup on this. So this is gonna be a staggered setup. It's an 18x9 in the front, and it's gonna be a +15 offset. And we're looking at a Volk Racing SF Challenge. It's a two-piece wheel. So you can see here, it's got the nice chrome barrel, and then it has the graphite, really clean 5-spoke in the middle. And it's really cool kind of how they have these Allen heads here. It's linked up with a 225/35. So you can see here, as far as fitment, there's an aftermarket wide body kit on it. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But the fitment on this one is just a little more tucked in. And the reason behind that is, of course, they're not trying to run too flush, because then you're gonna run into issues that if they were to get this car over some heavy bumps, you're gonna rub this tire on this nice aftermarket fender flare. And you're definitely gonna run into some issues with that cracking. So, all right, so now we're in the back here. We're gonna check out the rear. Now this is a 19x10.5, and it's a 3 offset. So if you come in here and get a close-up on this one, you can see a nice big deep dish wheel on this guy. Great looking wheel, really good detail here too. You can kind of see these little machined out little squares that are in here. Volk Racing always has a lot of really cool looking wheels. Tire they have it linked up with in the back is gonna be a 275/30. So if we're looking at this 275/30, 30 series tire, of course, a really low profile tire, not a ton of rubber, but it looks excellent on this car. It ties in really well. And once again, the suspension gap here, this is OEM suspension. So they weren't looking to slam this thing. They just wanted it to look extremely clean. So tuck, flush, or poke. As far as the front fitment, we're gonna look at, this is gonna be a little more of a tucked in. So you can kind of see here this nice side profile shot. This fender flare actually hangs over the wheel. And then if we get a shot of the back, this 10.5 wide is actually gonna have them sitting flush. So that's kind of the setup that's on here. So a little more aggressive fitment, of course, in the back. But if you look up front here, the cool thing about this kit, where it's notched out, this portion here, is you can actually see the tire. So when the tire turns as well, this little notch in the side skirt and then this front fender here, it kind of exposes the tire, so it looks really nice. Cool thing about this setup too is I like how it's not a crazy stretch look. It looks very clean. Let's take a look at the rest of the car and check it out. So if we look on the side here, you can see the decal, JGTC, so the Japan GT Championship, and then that's actually the body kit that's on it. It's called the Downforce kit, and what it's gonna be is a full entire kit that's gonna incorporate the side skirt here, and then this whole back quarter panel, which is knocked out about an extra 2 inches. So really cool divot by the gas cap here. Really awesome ductwork that kind of pulls into the side here, but the NSX, of course, has stock. But they kind of play off of that with another scoop that scoops up off the side here. Let me jump up to the front. We'll get a shot of this into the side here, but really awesome looking fender flare. This thing's bumped out hardcore. Nice little kind of vented area on the side. We were trying to figure out if this actually meant auto trim design or if this was their favorite sushi order. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm gonna take a guess it means auto trim design. Let's check out the rest of the kit. So the front bumper on this thing is absolutely wild. And the cool thing that they did, since this is another vehicle from Auto Trim Design out here in Neenah, these guys do stickers, window tints, vehicle wraps, all that kind of stuff. And they did a killer job with some nice accents on the car. And one of the things they did is it actually faked me out at first, as it almost looks like that there's a scoop from a distance, but this is actually just a vinyl sticker that they did on here that just kind of fades out. So if you see the car coming at you from head on, it almost looks like that is almost like an OEM vent that sits in here, but it's actually just a decal. A really cool looking kit. And then up here, this marker light, the turn signal, I believe, you can also see they did kind of a carbon fiber styled overlay that kind of spruces this up with kind of 3 different circles in here that kind of makes that pop. Pretty cool looking little accent that ties in with the kit nicely. So let me flip up the headlights for you guys. One of my favorite parts about the Acura NSX is these flip up lights. I'm actually a big fan of the flip up lights. I know a lot of people do the one-piece headlight conversion, but I think that's what really makes these cars, and it's cool to see because of course none of the new vehicles on the road these days do anything cool like that. So to tie in some of the other black accents that were on the vehicle, they also have a GT style carbon fiber side mirror here, which looks pretty killer. And then to tie in with that carbon fiber, there's also the rear side pillar here, which is all carbon fiber as well. So really clean, subtle accents on this car. What I like about this, it almost reminds me of kind of like the Fast and the Furious cars with the aftermarket paint job on it and the really extreme lines in the body kit. And speaking of that, this whole entire car was actually built by 2020 out in California, and they're the same outfitters that actually did a lot of the builds for the Fast and the Furious movie. So pretty cool. They picked the car up that way and just kind of added some other subtle touches on their own. Check out the hood on this thing. So here's a giant Geisha Girl decal that they did on the hood. So you can see they kind of ghosted out the print of the girl. And then of course they have the gloss black here that just kind of follows the contour of the hood. And then this same middle, that same color profile kind of follows the car. So they wrap the roof in a gloss black vinyl, really clean looking. And then if you carry it over to the back here, they did the whole entire trunk in a gloss black as well. So that black and orange contrast looks really badass. And while we're on the back here, you can see the carbon fiber aftermarket NSX spoiler here. Now, if you get a side profile of this, you can see how just wide this body kit is. Really extreme looking. One of my favorite pieces, if you look at an angle, they have this notched out fin that just kind of flares out and kind of follows the contour of this rear quarter panel. Awesome looking kit. And then they took the stock rear bumper diffuser here. They did the matte black on it, and then they did kind of an aftermarket lower rear diffuser here with the rods to kind of clean it up. Now, one of the things that we've seen a lot on the NSXs, and it sounds absolutely amazing, is the Taitec exhaust system. So it's also the JDM GT Spec Series exhaust. Let's check out the inside of this thing. So they did a aftermarket Sparco detachable steering wheel, aftermarket shift knob, and just about everything else inside the vehicle is all OEM. So nice clean interior. Anything from the inside to the door sills to the engine, this car is absolutely in beautiful shape. Let's go ahead and pop the rear engine hatch for you guys so you can take a look at that. So what they did is they modified the rear engine cover. So it's the OEM cover, but they did a corrugated metal. And then they also did the NSX logo on here, which looks extremely clean. So if we pop this guy up. So this is gonna have a aftermarket Comtech sway bar in the back. And then the motor on this is all completely stock. So 3 liter, 252 horsepower. I'm not sure how many miles are on this car. I'll have to ask them. But I know they are the second owner of this vehicle. So absolutely killer looking motor. Of course, this is more of a show car, not something that's driven every day. So that is probably gonna wrap it up for this vehicle spotlight today. So if you guys wanna get more details on this car as far as fitment with the wide body kit on here, jump on to fitmentinc.com, click our gallery tab, click Acura NSX, and you will find this car and hopefully a couple others in there. So if you guys are looking to do an aftermarket kit, this was a Downforce kit. Get all that info on our website. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys watching. I'm Andrew. Catch you next week. Peace. it.